Welcome to the Addiction Connection podcast, connecting the hope of the gospel with the heart of addiction. I am not your host today. We've got other people in our ministry hosting these podcasts, and we're going to go to that in just a minute. But I want to read Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good, acceptable, and perfect. It's National Transformation Month. And I have friends in our ministry, part of this isn't a one-man show. The Addiction Connection encompasses a lot of people. And I have friends in ministry that are talking to other friends of our ministry and sharing their stories of encouragement and hope in National Transformation Month. I think you're going to be encouraged and excited to hear these stories. So may God bless you richly.
Greg, Karen, I appreciate you guys coming in here and sitting with us. I asked you to come in here because we originally met in an online class, correct?
Yep.
Are you still in?
Still am. Student, yeah.
Okay. So we originally met, then we met here at the TAC conference, and I was thinking about, you had mentioned this is your third year here now, and I was thinking about my first TAC conference. I don't know if you remember the speaker Justin that was just here. Justin and I were friends. I had no idea who Mark Shaw was and any of his books or anything like that. And Justin and I were sending people back and forth from our programs. And Justin and I were talking about an individual, and he said, "Well, am I going to see you next week?" And I said, "See me where?" And he goes, "Well, the Addiction Connection." And I was like, "What's that?" And I showed up to my first conference. I registered the day of, so I was like last minute in. And now I have not missed one. And what has happened is like this has become kind of like a refreshing event where you see fellow workers, and it's kind of a family. And so when I was thinking about asking you guys to come in here, it seems like you guys have become part of the family now. It's consistently coming to TAC conferences, and so with the opportunity to sit in here and get to know you guys a little bit more. So think about talking to your TAC family, because this is going to be produced and shown on the website, and people get to know who Greg and Karen are from northern Minnesota with 8 kids.
Yeah. It's really been a joy. We give you a little bit of background. I, as I said last night, really was introduced to Mark's material through wanting to start an addiction program in our local church. And so someone else had given me his name, told me about the material, the Heart of Addiction book. Mm-hmm. And so I had read through that, worked through some of the other material, and started working with some people in our church one-on-one, and through working through some addiction stuff. And then the Lord, through circumstances, moved us away from that ministry over to Minnesota, and now am serving as associate pastor at Sunrise Bible Church. And my main role there is counseling and discipleship. And so where you and I met was I'm working on my master's degree in biblical counseling. And
that's at
Central Seminary.
And that's where Nick Allen is the...
Yep. So Nick Allen is one of my advisors for my degree.
So I'm super jealous of that.
Yeah, cool guy.
Because that guy's the best.
Yeah, so. He is. Yeah, I really like him, and just have been real fortunate to sit under his teaching.
Yeah.
And so just call him a friend. And so through that, when I talked to Central about starting a degree there, I asked them about doing a minor or an emphasis in addictions with my biblical counseling degree. And so they were able to make that happen, which led me then from reading Mark's material to actually getting to meet him.
Yeah.
At least through Zoom on the computer and screen. And so to have taken 3 seminary classes with him, and just have really enjoyed it, and have learned a lot from him. And he's went from being someone who wrote books to me to a professor, and now really just a good friend, and just really appreciate it. And so that first year, this had been 3 years ago, he invited me out to the tech conference, Karen and I, to come out, and said he'd really like to see us out here, and actually was really gracious in making that happen. And so we're able to come out, and just, that's been huge. Being able to come to the conference, it's been able to make connections, meet you and person and others, and boy, just it is truly a family.
Yeah.
And it is a blessing, because it's been really helpful. I mean, even just today, sitting at lunch with, went to lunch with 5 different guys, and just learning about their ministry and what they're doing, and exchanging phone numbers and emails and information, and just keeping in contact. So
I know for me, and being in a residential addiction ministry, like when I get back from the TAC conference, I'm like kind of re-energized, and kind of trying to implement some of the things I've learned, and all that comes from the fellowship here mainly. It's like hearing this story or that story. We also celebrated you getting your CABC, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So how was that?
Yeah, it was good. So it was a little different than maybe the normal. We talked about that last night, but just through the classes, I finished the 3 classes, and Dr. Shaw invited me to become CABC commissioned, and so just talking with him and working with him on that.
When you do 3 seminary classes with him, I'm sure you've done all the requirements for the CABC.
Yeah, probably, and spent a lot
Probably
of money
more
to get it there. So
yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so it's been really good, and I'm excited for that, and just excited to have even a greater partnership with the ministry.
So how did you get basically into biblical counseling as a whole, not just the addiction specific, or how long ago did this kind of interest peak with you?
Sure. For me, it was through pastoring.
Okay.
And so really pastoring and people coming in to my office, asking questions, wanting to talk with me, wanting to meet with me, and really realizing that, I just wanted to be better equipped to be able to do that, and to answer questions and talk with people, and really take people to the Word of God, and be able to work through passages with them. And I think as a pastor, that's one of the greatest privileges, is pastoring, and just that needs to be in the church. And there are a lot of churches that are not doing that, and a lot of pastors that I've talked with on the phone that, I'll get people who call and say, "Hey, I hear you do counseling," and I always call their pastors if they don't go to our church. And I've had pastors just say to me, "Hey, look, if you're willing to do biblical counseling, we'll send you everybody from our church who's needs counseling." And I don't ever want to be one of those pastors. I really want to stand on the Word and lead people to answers in Christ and stability through the Word, and helping them work through the things that we face in life issues.
So have you been able to recruit your lovely wife in any of your counseling with you?
Yeah. So Karen does a lot of counseling with me. We really are partners in a lot of ways in the ministry as well. And so, I have a strict policy, and I'm sure many others do as well, I hope. And so I don't ever counsel women one-on-one. And so Karen's in there with me anytime there's that, if she's not counseling her. And then even for couples, I just find it helpful for Karen to be a part of it. And she's wise, has good things to bring, and I just appreciate her perspective. And so
My the director of the program I was at is Jim Neuheiser, and his wife Caroline has, within the last 5 years or so, become Caroline now the counselor, and she's written some books, and she's doing podcasts and blogs. She got her master's over there, but all that to say that I have not been able to recruit my wife into counseling, but it's just neat watching that dynamic. I spent time at their house and things like that, and they're just it's done a lot for them as a couple, counseling others together, and I think it provides just such a good situation for a lot of different people, having a husband and wife willing to come in and them being both trained in biblical counseling. So,
Yeah, it's been a blessing. It's a blessing to serve together, but it's also a blessing just to see a lot of times in our counseling situation when we're working together or whatever the situation might be, the story is, Karen and I can see our own lives in that too. And just, so we have a lot of good talks just in our own relationship about what God's doing in our counseling room and how he's doing that in our own lives. And I'm thankful for how God uses that. You can say something if you want to, Karen, but she'll tell you when we're in the counseling room together, she's like, I always say, you should talk more, you should say more. And she's always like, no, I'll let you talk. But when she does, it's like a gold mine what comes out. And so it's really good.
wow.
So, appreciate it.
Piqued my interest now. I want some golden nuggets of wisdom from Karen. Well, with helping counsel, I don't know how you find the time because you guys have 8 children.
We do.
Yeah, so tell us about that.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. We have a daughter that's 23 all the way down to a daughter that's 5. So this year our oldest 2 are actually out of the house. So they actually each have a child. So we have 2 grandbabies. And then the oldest that still lives in the house is a senior this year, and the youngest is a kindergartner. So, and we homeschool all of them. So it'll be an interesting year.
And you help your husband counsel.
Yes.
So how do you do it all?
Life is busy.
Yes.
So what is it? You don't have all girls?
No, we have 5 boys, 3 girls.
5 boys, majority men. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. A lot of boys running around. So,
So what would you say, I'm always curious on, everybody has their kind of different flavors of leaders in the biblical counseling world. We mentioned Nick Allen and of course Mark Shaw, but is there anybody besides those 2 guys that has really helped you with your ministry, counseling ministry?
Yeah. So those would be 2 good guys that I really do appreciate and get to interact with. Another one that I've done a lot of reading, either articles, journal entries, and his book as well. At least one of his books is Heath Lambert. Has been a huge blessing. I really liked his writing. A couple of books that I appreciated was he, after Adams, finished the history of the movement of the history of the counseling movement. Mm-hmm. And so David Paulison, passed away not too long ago, but he's another big one. His writing is dynamite. I really like it.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate that. And one of the books we had to read was his dissertation actually on the counseling movement up through Adams. And that was really helpful to me just to understand kind of the history of it. Mm-hmm. and some of the struggles and battles that the church faced early on. And really the ways some of the ways that the church gave away biblical counseling to the world.
Yeah.
And so just helped me appreciate even more so the men who have battled to fight to get that back.
Yeah, it's funny when you get into that history. It's kind of like, I don't want to. It's just kind of the way I gathered it. Jay Adams was like this controversial, like in your face guy, but it kind of needed a guy like that.
Absolutely.
To kind of get it where it was. But then David Powelson was the kind of guy that kind of had smoothed the edges and was able to make it more digestible for people of differing views. And I see that, and I appreciate them both for what they did, for sure. So Heath Lambert also is going to be our speaker.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, we don't even have to wait a whole nother year for TAC. We're going to have another one in 6 months.
Yeah, in February. Yeah, if we're going to go to Florida, I'm excited that it's in February.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, before we end, is there anything you would like to tell us before we go, or anything like that?
Well, I think, as you said earlier, you were talking about how when you leave here, just energized and excited. And I think that is one of the things that is really helpful about TAC is not just the summit or the conferences, although they're nice. And we had the Region 3 conference this year. Over.
Oh, you went to that one too?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, nice.
So that was really good in Iowa there.
Yeah.
So I told CJ McMurray today, I said, man, I hope you do that again next year, because that was really good.
I'll have to go to it next time.
And so I appreciated that they did that, and I'm hoping they'll do more. But then I think too, just, the encouragement that comes out of you got good guys, and others that are in ministry that you can call and talk with, and just to stay faithful and stay true to the word and sufficiency of the word. And so, a lot of ideas going back home, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing some time with us and telling us a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.